appointed a chap called Ian Crumpton, who I'm sure some of you will come across. Ian is our head of SMEs. SMEs, forgive me if I'm telling you something you already know, stands for small and medium enterprises, small businesses, typically businesses that employ between 5 and 100 people. And this is the first time we've ever appointed someone who is specifically looking at a discrete section of the community, at whether we can build a proposition that fits for a definite part of our customer base. And the fact that Ian's been appointed to SMEs is the start, because it will lead us into looking at other areas where we can build similar things. But I want to particularly talk about the SMEs for a moment, to just look at what that might mean for us. Have you any idea, anybody got any ideas how many SMEs there are in existence in the UK? How many small and medium companies there are in the UK? No, there's 5 million of them. Do you know how many people they employ, roughly, between them? Hazard a guess? Well, they employ 14 million people out of the 66 or 67 million people that live in the UK. 14 million of them work for SMEs. And we also know that 45% of those SMEs visit a post office branch every week. Now, they mainly, at the moment, they come in to buy stamps, they come in to post letters, they come in to do our traditional stuff. But what if you could build a proposition that actually fits for SMEs and provides a group of products or a bundle of products that actually works? So, for example, the start off of looking at what we could do for SMEs was drop and go. Now, SMEs, you've got to look widely at what an SME actually is. It could be someone whose business is eBaying. So we know that a lot of branches, drop and goes appeal to eBayers, but it also appeals to small companies. So that's the start of the proposition. But what if you could bundle that into something that is around a post-pay mobile offering, for example, or super fast broadband for SMEs, or a credit card or banking services that are specifically aimed at SMEs? Then you start to build something which actually looks like a proposition rather than just a product here and a product there. You actually start to get into a world where SMEs will come to us because we can offer them a package of things that make their business operation more effective than it currently is. But actually, it's about building relationships. If you go back to the early days of Drop and Go, the reason Drop and Go was so important to us was not just because it won back business that we might otherwise lose, but because for the first time ever, it gave us details of who our mails customers actually were. Because until that point, we didn't know. You might have known as individual branch managers and colleagues, you might know that I know Fred owns this business and he comes in every week and he sends 10 special deliveries. But as a business, we didn't know anything about who our mails customers were. We couldn't do anything to help them. We couldn't make them bespoke offerings. We couldn't do anything to offer them any discounts because we didn't know who they were. Now that we've got Drop and Go and we've had the tremendous success that we've had in recruiting customers into Drop and Go, we've got the opportunity to offer bespoke offerings to these people rather than it just being a blanket across everybody or nothing to anybody, which is actually where we were. So you all saw the benefit when we offered the discount scheme last year, back end of last calendar year, around parcels. The impact that had was tremendous and we learnt an awful lot about that. And where do you start with SMEs actually? Is it just about a bundle of products, or do you actually say, well, we could have SME specific products, SME specific advisors in branches? You may recruit people who specialise in looking after these people, who go out and prospect. My background prior to the post office is banking and financial services, and we used to have people whose sole role was to go out into the wider community where the branch was and speak to what we just class as third parties. In our world, it was solicitors, accountants, insurance brokers, mortgage brokers, a world John will be very familiar with, similar background to mine. In our world, it would be small businesses. It might be other customers that we just go and we talk to them outside of a branch and recruit them as customers or win them back as customers. So could you even say that we get to a world where you have SME-focused branches, where actually you put in specific branches and all they do is focus, they're in a business community, a business part of a town or a city, rather than the residential, the shopping part. The world is huge for us if we can really break into the SME world and make sure we've got appropriate offerings. But it's about making sure that the proposition we offer, the bundle of products we offer, actually fits and is relevant to what those customers want.